Welcome to the dark stream again, take two. So, let's talk about Groypers. Do we have decent audio this time? Let me know if we have decent audio. And of course, we've got the comments from the retards who can't figure out how to switch over to the other stream. Reload. People, stream is up again. It's always a pain how YouTube doesn't get this thing straightened out, but c'est la vie. Audio's good. Okay, so I was not planning to stream tonight, but then a couple of Nick Fuentes fans decided that they needed to come to my blog and start complaining about Owen, about the fact that nobody in the entire history of the right wing has ever done anything before Nick Fuentes, and so forth. And so I have repeatedly said that I'm not interested in getting involved in the drama. All right. Now, if people are going to come on my blog and they are going to insist on subjecting me and my readers to this nonsense, then I'm not going to have any choice but to get involved. And so what you might want to consider, what you might want to think about, is whether that's a good idea, whether that's something that you really want to see. Because I don't really have the impression that any of these, poor innocent young men have any idea what they're getting in for. Maybe they do, but I'm guessing that they're not really inclined to read a lot of books. I could be wrong, but the last time that somebody came around and started talking smack about their grand leader on my blog, they weren't too happy when they were successful in drawing my attention. And, the last person who did that was this guy. And this was the result. I've told people it's not a great idea to poke the big bear. And it's not. People are already complaining about the fact that, oh, he just doesn't let it go. Why is he still picking on poor Nick? Da, da, da. Well, how do you think Joe Rogan's fans feel? I mean, you have to understand who you're dealing with and what you're dealing with. I warned Jordan Peterson's fans when they showed up on my blog and started talking their nonsense and telling me that I was wrong, etc., etc., etc. And so this was the result. And now he's in rehab for definitely not meth. Now, maybe it's not connected at all. Maybe Jordan Peterson has a strong psychology that is indifferent to criticism. But we know it's not true. And so, you know, I don't have anything personal against Nick. I've talked to Nick before. But let me explain a few things to you. I spotted Ben Shapiro and openly dismissed Ben Shapiro with a conclusive case against him back in 2005. So boring. Vox is just giving it. Look, Nick isn't. Okay, fine. Bring me Nick. Let's debate, Nick. Come on, little Nicky titty baby. You want to debate? Your guys want to talk about how smart you are? You know I'm much smarter than you are. You know there's a reason why Ben Shapiro ran away from me multiple times before he ran away from you. You want to debate, Nick? Everybody says debate, Nick? Fine. Nick, it's Vox. Let's debate. Let's debate the Holocaust. You and me, you've claimed that 6 million people died in the Holocaust. Let's debate that. You've claimed to be a Latino college campus guy. Let's debate whether you're a Latino or not. Let's debate whether you're La Raza or not. Let's debate whether you're part of the Bronze race or not. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about. That's what a fake Latino you are. See, what a lot of you might not realize is that I'm the great-grandson of a Mexican revolutionary. My great-grandfather rode with Pancho Villa. Why? You don't get it? I don't have a problem with Nick. I have a problem with, okay, oh, shut up, Boomer. I have a problem with the Groypers. And Nick can't keep you under control. So fuck you all and fuck Nick Fuentes. Got it? He can't control you, then he's not a leader worth anything. The VFM don't do anything unless they know they're supposed to do something. The Dread Ilk don't run around pestering people left, right, and center. You know, it's time to teach the puppy a lesson. You guys are all, I don't claim to be Indian. I am Indian, you Nicky Titty Baby can either show up for the debate or he can shut up and run away and tuck his tail between his puppy legs. Okay? Cringe. Oh, we got all the little faggies. Gosh. You know, well then, I don't give a damn now or then. Do you not understand that? I told you to leave me out of it. You didn't. This is what you get. Nick Fuentes and I debating the Holocaust. That's what we're going to debate. Let's see if your boy is really willing to go live and debate the Holocaust. He's not a denier. He publicly stated that 6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust. Wonderful. Let's talk about that. Let's debate that. Of course Nick won't do it, because he's a little puppy. He's running around He's running around saying, debate Nick. Okay, here I am. I am here to debate Nick. It's not a trap at all. See, this is the difference between a little puppy who thinks about optics and a political philosopher who only cares about the truth. It's not a trap. It's exactly what it's exactly what I've offered. You know, I told people I didn't want to be involved in the drama. The Groypers kept coming to my blog and saying all this nonsense. See, here's the thing. Nick is terrified of the mainstream media. Nick is not as smart as I am. Nick is not as experienced as I am. And Nick has ambitions for mainstream media success that I do not share. So I don't give a fragment of a quantum of a damn what anybody thinks about my opinion on anything. Nick's afraid to talk directly and openly about historical events. I'm not. Go look up my debate about the Holocaust with, what's her name? Louise Mensch. We had a huge debate on it. My position was what my position was. I'm not afraid at all to speak about exactly what I think, because everything that I have to say is well-founded. I'm not going to talk about anything. I'm not going to talk. Why would I talk about the subject that we're going to debate? I'm not going to offer any hints or clues. You guys can look it up. I just told you, you want to look up the debate on Louise Mensch? Go find it. Reagan Dodge. He's going to kill you in... Bring it on, Knickers. I'm not at all afraid to talk about anything. I just offered to debate Nick Fuentes on the Holocaust. We will both go on the record in public saying exactly what we think about it. Nick has been wanting to debate people. He's been saying, debate Nick, debate Nick, debate Nick. Fine. I am here. It's very, very simple. And all they have to say is you're a gay nerd. How do you know the people bothering you are actually Nick's fans? Because they have said so repeatedly. You don't understand good. No, I don't care about optics at all. Vox Nick, I just explained this. Vox Nick has always spoken well of you. I don't have a problem with Nick. I have a problem with the Groypers. They came to my blog and now they're on my stream. They're bringing the drama to me. So I'm going to end it. This is why, as I have repeatedly warned people, this is why you don't fuck with someone that other people call the Supreme Dark Lord. You want to know why? Go ask Patreon. Go ask any number of large social media companies that don't want anything to do with me, with the VFM, with the Legal Legion of Evil, and with the Dread Ilk. They don't want anything. They want no conflict. And you think that somebody who regularly deals with conflict with other large companies that you know nothing about. I care so little that I'm perfectly happy to go out and debate in public a topic that would have most commentators wetting their pants rather than have the chance to be put in a position where they're going to have to say something and stand for something. I'm happy to do it. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. I walked away from multiple nationally syndicated columns. I walked away from many opportunities because I don't care about a career in media. I'm not a media whore. I never wanted to be. What I like to be is left alone to write my books and do my thing. Nick is seasoned in debate. Nick is 21 years old. I am 51 years old. I will be happy to debate Nick on the subject. Why are you all you Groypers wanted to see this? You kept coming and saying shit on my blog, here in the stream, and now suddenly you're making excuses for him, just like Ben Shapiro's fans. You can't call anyone out if you're not willing to be called out. You know, same thing happened with, Comicsgate, etc., etc. He might be 21, but he'd wipe the floor with you. Then tell him to debate me. Tell him, debate Vox. Why are you know why you're saying he would? Because you're afraid that he won't. Notice that none of my fans are anything but amused, because they've seen this over and over and over and over and over again. It always ends the same way. Andrew Anglin. Wait, Andrew Anglin didn't even debate. Andrew Anglin threw up the white flag before it even started. You know, all these guys, LMOA. What is there to debate? What was the exact number? What, in your opinion, is the exact number of people who perished in the Holocaust? Very concrete. Let's hear Nick's answer. I'll be happy to discuss it in detail. And the thing is that if Nick's not able to do this with me, somebody who doesn't care about him and has no particular desire to unmask or otherwise neutralize him, he's not ready for prime time. See, look at how they're all backing up. Why does it matter? Who cares? Who cares? What's your answer now? The choice is very simple. Either Nick debates me or he runs away. I don't care what he does. If he shows up for a debate, we'll debate. If he doesn't, then he's going to get ragged about it, and his followers are going to get ragged about it every single time they show up on the blog. See, this is why you don't want to draw the attention of someone like me, because I know how to neutralize other people who are taking intellectual positions. You guys all, Nick rarely backs away from debates from what I've seen. Really? Well, then it's no problem. Then we'll be having a debate, won't we? They're trying to change the subject of debate. Of course they are. They're all afraid of it because Nick is going to have to make a choice. That's what I am forcing him to do on multiple levels. And Nick is probably smart enough to know that. So he can back down. He can either back down in a reasonable way. He can back down in a posturing gamma way. Or he can show up and take the risk that he knows it entails. Because there's a very good chance that he'll be exposed in a way that he doesn't want to be exposed. I don't care. I'm already persona non grata. I'm literally banned from setting foot on the Google Mountain View campus. So it makes no difference to me. I'm not trying to get a show on Fox News. I have no interest. I don't even talk to the media. People talk about Nick being smart. He still hasn't figured out that you don't talk to the media. There's no reason whatsoever to talk to the media. It won't build your career. It won't help you. It won't do any good. All you guys, you can you can dance all you want. You can run all you want. But it's not going to fool anyone. It's not going to, you understand, it's not going to fool anyone if Nick runs away. It's not going to fool anybody any more than Ben Shapiro fooled you when he ran away from Nick. Is the fundamental disagreement on the optics question? No, the fundamental disagreement is Groypers talk on my blog and on my chat about Nick Fuentes when I have made it repeatedly clear that I don't give a flying fuck about any of his drama. Not his, not Owen's, not Milo's, not Cerno's, nobody's. You brought it. You wanted my attention. You wanted to draw my attention to Nick Fuentes. You have. Now it's time to debate. You want to run with the big boys, Nick? This is what it looks like. You don't just get to debate non-entities like Charlie Kirk. You got to go up against the big dogs too. Now, if you're as smart and formidable, if you're just as smart and formidable as your fans think, then this should be a no-brainer. Show up. Debate the Holocaust. We'll discuss precisely how many people died in the Holocaust. Well, I do talk to the Chinese media. I've talked to the Chinese media, what, twice in the last 2 years? You know, see, look at all these gammas. Could you look any more dejected and drained? Truly a loathsome creature. Appropriate name. All this. Look, you guys don't understand. I'm not a little boy who cares about the opinions of other little boys. Men don't care. You know, yes, you can get somebody like Charlie Kirk to get upset because he hasn't dealt with organizations like the Council on American Islamic Relations. Because he hasn't actually been banned by global multinationals and actual national militaries. All of the attempts to try to reshape and redefine and the rhetoric is useless. It's very simple. Either Nick debates or he backs down or he runs. There's only 3 options. That's it. The Groper, Matthew Lopez says, the Groypers are so damn irritating. Why do you think this happened? Why do you think that I'm challenging Nick Fuentes to a debate about the Holocaust? Because he can't control his Groypers. That's why. Nick is streaming right now. Charlie Kirk concedes, calls for good faith dialogue. Nick is Nick is in with the beast. I don't know about that. I mean, calls for Owen Vox, still the undefeated champions of the world. I don't care is never a defense online, Vox. You should know that, man. It's not a defense. It's the truth. Why do you think... You clearly don't understand that I'm not like most of the would-be talking heads, internet, celeb, YouTube, whatever. I'm a writer. I do this because people have asked me to. It's not something I'm particularly good at. It's not something I particularly enjoy. It's not something I care about. But, I do it. And did you read all those books? Yes. Well, I haven't read the encyclopedias, front to back, but let's see. Fox Bear says, I feel like I'm back in high school reading Groper Chat No 08 kindergarten. You guys can whine all you want. You guys can throw all the rhetoric you want. I literally wrote the book on it. It's absolutely useless to try to do that. Elfin says, if Fuentes wants to run with the big dogs and pee in the tall grass, he's got to step up and debate. Will you defend the gay rollerblading position? I will defend my position on it. and we will find out exactly what Nick's position is on it. Assuming, of course, that he doesn't run. So, anyhow, we'll wait and see. It's all cringe until you get punched in the face. That's funny. I want to see the debate, Vox versus Nick. Do it now. I'm up for it. I'm absolutely up for it. I've already proposed it. You know, he can either do it, or until then, the Groypers should shut up, because, you know, if they're going to talk smack about a guy who runs away from a debate about something that he's taken a public position on, you know. Smitty says, the Groypers aren't here because of Nick. They're here because Owen obsesses over it. Nick doesn't even talk about him. Control the bear. You're on my channel, moron. Read the comments. Read the comments. Read the comments on my blog. You wanted me to pay attention to Nick and Owen. Now I am. I am proposing that I debate Nick Fuentes on the Holocaust and the number of people who died in the Holocaust. Even your very, very small, immature brains should be capable of comprehending that. You wanted my attention. You got my attention. The debate has been proposed. That's all we need to do. Gemini Bear says, I don't think he cares. Fine. Then he can run. And then no one will ever take him seriously again. I like how they're like now going to Wikipedia and looking things up. Wait for Trump. Vox is triggered by Nick. Your chair is gay and cringe. Look at all the attempts to change. All the attempts to change the subject. The subject's very simple. Nick has the opportunity to debate the subject. He's talking about his other debates. That's funny. What happened to get banned from the Google MTV Mountain View campus? I have no idea. It came out in the Demore case. You know, guys, all of your babbling is irrelevant. Go talk to Nick. You wanted my attention. You've got it now. So go ahead. Let's debate. Debate Nick. Everybody wanted debate Nick. Here we are. We're ready to debate Nick. We've even got a subject. The Daily Ladle says milkers insult chairs because they can't debate ideas. Most likely. Frick a debate, show us your milkers, big boy. They're called pectorals. They're what happens when grown men pick up iron many times and put it back down. You also get muscles in your arms, your shoulders. There's a thing on your shoulder. It's called your trap. It's kind of your back, your deltoid muscles. There's all kinds of muscles you will discover if you ever get out of your parents' basement and start lifting weights. You should try it sometime. Alex Lang says, a big problem with the right as a marginal force in politics is the tendency of its personalities to carve out fiefdoms and fight amongst themselves. Well, why don't you leave people alone then? You know, that's always an option. You don't see any of my fans, any of my supporters, any of my backers going and pestering Fuentes. So what the hell are you doing on my blog and on my channel, interrupting our discourse and annoying us? This is what happens. The debate is about the Holocaust and the number of people who died in the Holocaust. Do people really think a dig at a chair will somehow hurt you? Well, they do, because they're very sensitive. They're very sensitive young men who don't have any confidence. And so anything upsets them. They don't understand that grown men who have wives and children and successful enterprises and so forth don't care about what a bunch of little boys say. They get all excited because they can perturb people like Ben Shapiro or Charlie Kirk, but they don't realize that that's not even the minor leagues. AJ Rhino says, hey Vox, just to thank you for recommending The Heretics of St. Placenti. What a great book. Oh, and Groypers need to grow up. Brooker Bear has a good point. It's unfortunate these children haven't been punched in the face at least once. Vox, man, these comebacks are weak. Do you even lift? Get out of the basement. The guy was talking about men having milkers. Do you not understand how it's directly relevant that if you're accustomed to men having soft chests that protrude, then you probably are not familiar with lifting weights? Is this really beyond your cognitive capacity to figure out? Veritas Monk has it. Who is this Fuentes and why are these people making this distraction? Vox made an offer to debate. Go pass on the offer. Little bit too logical. Little bit too logical for them to follow. The only pull-ups Nick knows are Huggies. That's pretty funny. A while back I asked Fuentes if he'd talk to you. He agreed but looked nervous as fuck. Hope he doesn't cuck. Debating Nick may teach Groypers humility. You know. Yeah, I mean, as I've said repeatedly, I've got nothing against Nick. This will be good for him. You know. It's not good to always win. In fact, one of the best ways to lose is to get your ass kicked. When I did martial arts for 6 years, I think I spent the first 2 years doing nothing but getting my ass kicked. Then I started to finally, be able to hold my own. If Nick is as good as his fan, I don't know if I go that far, but I do tend to trust people who lift weights more than people who don't. Vox, you're all in with boomers. I disliked boomers before you guys were even born. Smitty Jensen. Vox is really annoyed by Owen, but he's directing it towards Nick because Owen is his cash cow. I direct you to our most recent campaign. Owen is not my cash cow. I have absolutely no need whatsoever for Owen. We've successfully been running a computer game company, a publishing house, a comic book company, and numerous other ventures before I even met Owen. So your narrative is false. PFO Dynamite says, I want to debate how many Groypers died during the Groypers, November 22nd, 2019. Many dead, 0 adult men killed. That's funny. This is great. Why would you think the Holocaust was a worthy debate in the current year? Oh, I don't know. Maybe you should ask Nick that. Nick was releasing statements on it earlier this week, I think it was. Obviously, it's relevant. Why would debating it be a problem? What's the difference between optics and rhetoric as defined by Aristotle? Well, they're totally different things. Optics are how people perceive communication, and rhetoric is a specific form of communication. He's just using a form of rhetoric that's applicable to the most possible people. No, first of all, that's not true, and secondly, fine, he can use rhetoric in our debate if he wants. You know, I'm not prone to using rhetoric in debate very often. I prefer dialectic, but I'm comfortable speaking either. How do you know these people on your blog are really his fans? Because of the way that all of you, they behave exactly the same way that you guys are behaving here. What did Elron say? Somebody said, I already tried. Oh, I don't know what he said. It's pronounced Groypers. You sure do seem to keep tabs on Fuentes. You always say you don't care. I don't care. I don't keep tabs on Nick. I pay no attention whatsoever to him. Owen needs dad. See, now look at all the way that they're dancing around this stuff. Owen needs Daddy Vox to fight his battle. This has nothing to do with Owen. I was perfectly happy to let the two. I thought that cartoon that Owen's Mountain Bear did was funny, but you know, I was perfectly content to let them take pot shots at each other. I don't care. But when you come on to my blog, that's the end of it. You know, this is what happened the last time somebody's fans came onto my blog and started talking shit. What's going to happen now is either Nick and I will debate the Holocaust, or you're going to see that your champion debater ran away from a debate. One of two things. Do you think you will convert any of these Nick defenders? No, not. I would assume not. Robin Williams. This is how well they Hello World. Nobody read that book though. Jordan Peterson did. Jordan Peterson absolutely did. I don't think there's enough material to write a book about Nick Fuentes, to be honest. Yeah, Duralex Sedlex is right. If you don't want your boy Prince broken like a disobedient Roman conscript, then don't go to other people's clubhouses and start fires. Precisely. Triad Bear says they do it to anyone associated with Owen. They're on Vincent James's live stream every night saying Owen this and Owen that, the box is a grifter, and so on. Yeah, so anyhow, anytime they come on, we'll just say, hey, where's the debate? Where's the debate, guys? Come on. You want to show up here? Where's the debate? Mike Underwood said, interested in your upcoming with Jay Dyer. Jay is a phenomenal debater and a man of great faith. I like Jay. Jay and I have exchanged email, and I think we've talked a little bit on one of my streams before. He's a good guy. I'll be happy to talk to him. Yesterday's dark stream. Okay. Dr. Jeep says they walked into the wrong Coliseum. Rotzi will get an interview with Nick before you. I don't know what Rotzi is, but, you know, Maniac Bear has a good point. Just go get him and stop talking. All you guys do is yap, yap, yap. Of course. Do you enjoy this type of conflict? I don't like the drama, but it is nice being able to cut loose occasionally. You know, I enjoy competition. You know, I still play competitive football, or soccer, I guess I should say. And, you know, so I enjoy, I think it would be entertaining to debate Nick. You know, he's not stupid, so it would be fun. But the mere fact of the topic that I chose is he's probably smart enough to realize that his best move is to back down, tell his fans to stop bothering the Dark Lord, you know, or if he's more gamma than alpha, he will just try to posture and laugh it off and do the usual gamma thing. That's also possible. I don't know him well enough to know what direction he'll go. Or if he is as indifferent to a media career as I am, then he'll throw caution to the winds and have at it. In any case, it's going to be interesting to see what he chooses to do. And what he chooses to do will tell us a lot about him. Nick is addressing this issue on live stream. Please don't refer to yourself in the third person and call someone a gamma in the same statement. That's not a gamma indicator. Gammas actually usually don't refer to themselves in the third person. They're too romantic. Frank Clive said, I'm not sure what the beef is between BB and Nick, but I think the Groypers had a fantastic win the past couple of weeks with regards to fake conservative. I'm all for what they're doing with Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro and that sort of thing. I called out and exposed Ben Shapiro in 2005. That was 14 years ago. Nick was 7 years old. You know, I'm not a fan of Conservative Inc. any more than those guys are. Maniac Bear says, you children are literally cannibalizing your leader's future. John Yossarian said, Nick's stream is just an attempt at damage control. It's probably wise. Vox looks like a man who is astonished that an ant and his army would pick this fight while he holds a flamethrower. Troubleshoot. He's not indifferent to a media career. He agrees with you, but there's a time and place. The identical landscape needs to change before truth can gain purchase. That's a choice. I speak the truth no matter what. I speak the truth regardless of what it's going to cost me. I'm not going to fault Nick if he's not willing or able to do that. But then you will know. You will know the truth about him, his character, and his objectives. And so will I. And so will all the Dread Ilk and the Evil Legion of Evil and so forth. I wasn't looking for drama. I wasn't looking for conflict. I am actually in the middle of much more significant conflict than Nick is at the moment. You know, some of the other things going on with Patreon and a few other things that we haven't talked about. But the point is that if you're going to come in to my house and if you're going to start pissing on the carpets and pooping on the couches, then I am going to clean up. It's that simple. I'm aware that Nick wasn't looking for drama with me, but his Groypers created it. I mean, look, Rusty Shackleford, you're cringe. They're still going on. Nick, if you want to be a leader, then get your puppies under control. Vox, after the inevitable victory by you, how would you conduct your business with Nick? Same as I was before. I don't get my panties in a bunch because, and after they came in here and started with all their idiotic, childish name calling, I just decided that we would put an end to it. See, they're still going on. You're the definition of a boomer. Go tell Nick to debate me. You guys wanted the intention. You wanted the debate. Here we are. You know? Vox, Owen posts vulgarity about Nick 20 times a day. And you know what, Sherry? Jenny said something about Susie 30 times a day. What are we going to do? I don't care. Why are you bringing this to me? All Jordan Peterson's fans had to do was shut the hell up and go away. They wouldn't. So I wrote this book, which even his fans agreed completely disemboweled him, metaphorically speaking. I will do that to anybody whose followers sufficiently annoy me. Get them under control. Stubbles McGee, can you explain the thought process though? Yes, and I suspect that Nick can too. That's why Nick is probably going to run. Because he doesn't want me to destroy his incipient media career. That's what will happen. that young man is online now, why are his fans here instead of listening to his stream? Because some of them are... Oh, apparently he flinched. I'm not surprised, but, you know. Fuentes won't respond. That's hilarious. Well, you know, there you go. You know. Anyhow, we already proposed a topic. The Holocaust and how many people perished in it. So, all right. Well, enough about Nick and his fans. You know, again, I've got nothing. I've got nothing personally against Nick. But you know, if you're a fan of his, then I strongly suggest that you stay away from this stream, stay away from my blog. You know, if people keep attempting to draw my attention, you will get it eventually. And generally speaking, people don't like that. So, anyhow, one last thing. Castelia Deluxe is going very well. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would encourage you to do so. We're going to be doing somewhere between 400 and 500 books. So unlike the junior classics, you're not going to be there's going to be a very limited ability to pick up new ones after the campaign. So make sure you want if you want one of the leather-bound books, make sure you sign up for the subscription sooner rather than later. Stubbles McGee, but isn't him not wanting to debate that topic understandable? Of course it is. You as someone who has been banned should understand why, and not want to put them in that position if you truly have nothing against him. Stubbles, what part of I don't care do you not understand? I don't care. You know what I care about? I care about having a positive and productive discourse on this channel and on my blog. The Groypers ruined that because they wanted to draw my attention to Nick Fuentes. Congratulations, they succeeded. Those Groypers who are smart enough, and Nick himself, I'm sure Nick is smart enough to understand this, just got a lesson in why that's a bad idea. Look up Xanatos Gambit. I'm a game designer. I can put just about anyone, corporation, individual, into a position where they can't get out of it. Whatever they do, it's going to be bad for them. That's what I do. And that's what I do when people won't leave me alone. You know? I mean, look at it this way. If even Amazon leaves me alone, if even Google leaves me alone, isn't it a good idea for you to do the same? Nick may be afraid of being banned. I'm not afraid of being banned at all. Not in the slightest. I welcome it. So, anyhow, I design video games. I'm so high IQ. Actually, game designers do tend to be extremely high IQ. You have to be in order to be able to foresee all of the various paths that things are going to take. Vox, would you agree that debating Nick on the Holocaust would paint the TPUSA Q&A guys as Richard Spencer alt-right types? Well, it all depends on how it went, really. Nutlet says Vox has a lot of money, easy to want banning. No, you don't understand it. I suggest you read my book, Corporate Cancer. Being banned is one of the most profitable things that can possibly happen to anyone with a loyal following. Spades guy, I've heard positive things about you, but you honestly seem quite full of yourself. What am I missing? Nothing really. I have the extreme confidence of a high IQ elite athlete who is accustomed to winning. I'm 51 years old and, still winning most competitions of most kinds that I get into. I've had people challenging me on my blog since 2003. You can look up every single encounter. You can read my debates with PhDs, with well-known intellectuals, with people who are far more credentialed in things than I am, and see how they turned out. There are massive debates on everything from free trade to inflation, deflation, to Greek skepticism, the philosophy. So, let's see here. No, in fairness, telling the truth about your past equals bragging. Oh, wait, that's not true. It's actually, unfortunately, it's true of a lot of people. It was always kind of funny. When I had an MG, I had this little MGB that, the lights never worked and stuff. And, you could talk about your car all you wanted. People thought it was funny. Oh, you're interested in cars. That's cool. But as soon as you have a Porsche, the mere mention of your car, oh, you're bragging. Had to learn not to talk about cars. Spades guy says, from what I understand, you seem to be taking an issue with Nick because of actions of people on Twitter. No, it doesn't have anything to do with Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. I have an issue with Nick's followers coming onto my blog and on my channel, attempting to stir up the drama and get me to weigh in on Nick, Owen, etc., etc., etc. So, you have my attention. I said, okay, you want my attention? Here's what we're going to do. So, if this is not a sufficient lesson for you, go talk to Nick. He's a smart boy. I'm sure he can explain it to you. Well, maybe he hasn't learned. Somebody says, well, of course, it could just be somebody talking crap. Nick is owning Vox and Owen. Tony Manzig pointed out the obvious. Vox is not bragging. He is just sending you a clear warning of how bad you will be destroyed if you poke his cage. Just remember he warned you. Fine, but did Nick ever say he wanted to debate on the Holocaust? That's irrelevant. Did Ben Shapiro ever say that he wanted to debate Nick? Look, guys, as you behave, so it will be done unto you. That's something that you need to understand if you're somebody who is at all in the public, in the public arena. One of the reasons why nobody takes Shapiro seriously anymore is because he claimed he was such a master debater, and then he ran away from everybody. He ran away from Milo, he ran away from me, ran away from Nick. Seth Rich said, it's a little weird how Nick hasn't been banned from YouTube. Well, neither have I, neither have Owen. Welcome, Julian Assad. Reprehensible Bear says, Nick chickened out and it's driving these little girls crazier. Oh. So, Rusty Shackelford, no one is afraid of you laughing my ass off. Rusty, you might want to talk to some of the social media companies. Or you can talk to, the Hugo Awards. There's, you literally have no idea what you're talking about. Remember, I didn't give myself the Dark Lord name, the Supreme Dark Lord name, any of that stuff. It was given to me for a reason. So, all right. Well, have a good evening. We'll look forward to seeing all the non-Groypers next time. And look at these gammas. When I did Marcel, you used to. Good Lord, you guys really need to hit the weight room and just stop doing all your embarrassing gamma drama. Anyhow, so debate Vox whenever they're ready. Have a good evening, and we'll see you at the next dark stream.